PlayStation 1. In 1991, Sony partnered with Nintendo to build a CD-ROM add-on for the Super Nintendo, known internally as the PlayStation. But in a legendary tech betrayal, the day after Sony publicly announced the project, Nintendo blindsided them by canceling the deal to secretly partner with Philips instead. Humiliated and furious, Sony executive Ken Kutaragi convinced the company's leadership to stop acting as a third-party supplier and build their own standalone gaming machine out of revenge. That console was the original PlayStation, launching in Japan in December 1994 and globally in 1995. While Nintendo and Sega remained hesitant to abandon expensive, limited cartridges, Sony made a high-stakes gamble on CD-ROM technology and dedicated 3D graphics hardware. Discs cost a fraction of the price to produce, allowing developers to build massive three-dimensional worlds with cinematic full-motion video cutscenes and CD-quality audio tracks. Sony also shifted marketing away from children, positioning gaming as a cool adult lifestyle brand. Armed with a groundbreaking controller, iconic launch titles like Ridge Racer and Tekken, Sony shattered industry norms. By the end of its lifespan, the PlayStation sold over 102 million units, becoming the first home video game console in history to break the 100 million mark. PlayStation 2. In 2000, Sony released the PlayStation 2, facing massive hype and seemingly impossible expectations. Nintendo, Sega, and Microsoft were all preparing major hardware counters. But the PS2 possessed a secret weapon that obliterated the competition from day one: a built-in DVD player. At a time when standalone DVD players easily cost upwards of $300, Sony offered a cutting-edge gaming system and a complete home theater upgrade for just $299. Families bought it as much for watching movies as playing games, turning the console into an essential living room centerpiece worldwide. Beneath its sleek, black vertical chassis sat Sony's custom 128-bit Emotion Engine processor. While complex to program for initially, it allowed developers to create vastly sprawling open worlds, realistic physics, and detailed 3D character models never before seen on screen. Sony also introduced backward compatibility, allowing players to run their original PS1 game discs and memory cards directly on the new hardware, a move that cemented massive brand loyalty. By the time production officially ended 13 years later, the PS2 had sold over 158 million units worldwide, making it the best-selling gaming console in human history. PlayStation Portable. In December 2004, Sony launched the PlayStation Portable, or PSP, directly targeting Nintendo's handheld dominance. While Nintendo focused on family-friendly hardware like the DS, Sony took a radical approach, bringing true, console-quality 3D graphics and home theater media right into your hands. Equipped with a bright 4.3-inch widescreen display, an analog control nub, and built-in Wi-Fi, the PSP felt like alien technology for its time. To store large 3D games without expensive cartridges, Sony invented the Universal Media Disc, a mini optical disc holding up to 1.8 gigabytes of data. This enabled developers to shrink full PS2 caliber experiences into portable form, while letting users play feature-length Hollywood movies on the go. System-selling titles like God of War: Chains of Olympus and Grand Theft Auto: Liberty City Stories proved that portable games didn't have to compromise on scale or graphics. Despite tough competition and pricey memory sticks, the PSP moved over 80 million units across its 10-year run, proving that hardcore console gaming could thrive anywhere. PlayStation 3. In late 2006, Sony launched the PlayStation 3, aiming to dominate the HD era with its revolutionary cell processor and integrated Blu-ray drive. Designed as a living room supercomputer, it won the format war against HD DVD and helped drive the rise of HD home cinema. However, its high ambition came with heavy baggage. Launching at an infamous $599, the PS3 stumbled early. Developers struggled with a complex cell architecture, multi-platform games underperformed, and Sony lost money on every unit sold. Sony countered with one of gaming's greatest turnarounds. The company rolled out free online play on the PlayStation Network, launched sleek slim models, and funded legendary exclusive franchises like Uncharted, The Last of Us, and God of War 3 to showcase the hardware's true graphical power. Ultimately, the PS3 overcame its rough start, selling over 87 million units worldwide and cementing Sony's reputation for elite, narrative-driven gaming. If you made it this far into the video, make sure to smash that like and subscribe button to support the content and channel. PlayStation Vita. In December 2011, Sony launched the PlayStation Vita in Japan, followed by a global rollout in early 2012. Built as the successor to the PSP, the Vita was engineered to deliver uncompromising, console-quality gaming in your hands, boasting a stunning 5-inch OLED display, quad-core processing, front and rear touch controls, and true dual analog sticks. Despite its impressive tech, the PS Vita was an absolute commercial failure. It sold a dismal 16 million units over its lifetime. a fraction of the PSP's 80 million and a total defeat compared to the Nintendo 3DS 75 million. Sony essentially killed the system through greed and poor strategy, forcing users to buy insanely expensive, proprietary memory cards that added nearly $100 to the system's already high price tag. At the same time, smartphones were taking over casual gaming. As sales stalled, Sony completely abandoned the Vita, pulling first-party game development just a few years after launch to focus entirely on the booming PS4. PlayStation 4. In November 2013, Sony launched the PlayStation 4, determined to avoid the costly architectural mistakes of the PS3. Lead system architect Mark Cerny engineered a radical shift, abandoning exotic custom chips in favor of standard PC x86-64 hardware. This made game development effortless and allowed multi-platform titles to run at peak performance. Sony positioned the PS4 with a laser focus on pure gaming, launching at an aggressive $399 price point. This stood in sharp contrast to Microsoft's Xbox One reveal, which was bogged down by a higher $499 price tag and controversial anti-consumer DRM restrictions. The PS4 dominated the 8th generation through a steady stream of critically acclaimed, narrative-driven, first-party exclusives, including God of War, Marvel's Spider-Man, and The Last of Us Part 2. Sony also pioneered mid-generation hardware upgrades with the PS4 Pro in 2016, enabling 4K resolution and dynamic HDR gaming. Selling over 117 million units globally, the PS4 became the second best-selling home console in PlayStation history. PlayStation 5. In November 2020, Sony launched the PlayStation 5, right in the middle of severe pandemic supply shortages and widespread scalping, making it nearly impossible to buy for over 2 years. Yet despite the chaotic rollout, the console delivered a true generational leap. At its core was a custom ultra-fast SSD that virtually erased load times and reshaped game design. Sony paired that speed with the DualSense controller, using haptic feedback and adaptive triggers to bring tactile immersion to 4K, ray-traced, high frame-rate gameplay. Sony kept momentum high with heavy-hitting exclusives like Demon's Souls, God of War Ragnarok, and Marvel's Spider-Man 2, while later introducing the upgraded PS5 Pro for enhanced GPU muscle and AI upscaling. Selling over 90 million units, the PS5 proved to be another massive commercial home run. PlayStation Portal. Sony launched the PlayStation Portal in November 2023 as a dedicated companion device rather than a traditional standalone handheld. Instead of competing head-to-head with local gaming powerhouses like the Nintendo Switch or Steam Deck, the Portal was engineered specifically as a remote play streaming accessory for the PlayStation 5. Built around a vibrant 8-inch 1080p display, the device literally splits a standard DualSense controller down the middle. This gave players full access to immersive haptic feedback, adaptive triggers, and ergonomic grips for a budget-friendly $199. Initial reception was mixed, with critics pointing out severe limitations, like zero offline play, no Bluetooth audio support, and total reliance on strong Wi-Fi. Yet despite the early doubts, the Portal became a massive sales hit, constantly selling out worldwide. Sony later boosted its value with cloud streaming updates, proving there was enormous demand for seamless home remote play. If you enjoyed this video, please drop a like and hit that subscribe button for more awesome videos like this. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.